Now that we've created our project, now that we've created the project and imported it into Subversion, we're now ready to write our first program. Now, going back to the Stone Age of computer programming, the very first program you write is the Hello World. So open up, make sure your projects tab is selected, open up the source packages, and you will see that at the very bottom of the tree is something called default package. Now that is the unnamed package, and under no circumstances are you to write any code in the default package. All code will be put in a named package. So since we are dealing with CS2173, we will start with defining a package called CS2173. So right-click on default package and select New Java Package. Their suggested name New Package is generic. Substitute CS2173. Notice that it is lower case. That is a convention. It's not a requirement, but generally speaking, all package names should be lower case. Okay, this is our project. This is its location. Now notice this is where it is being written to. So we see that this is where our project is located. There's a folder in that called source or SRC, and underneath that is going to be the package CS2173. So click OK or finish on that. And we see that now there is a named package called CS2173. We will now create our Hello World. So right click on the package and select New. All right, now what we want isn't here. Normally it would be Java class, but we actually want a Java main class. So if you don't see Java main class, select Other, and we see other possibilities. So Java class, interface, we'll eventually learn what most of those are, or at least some of them, but we want to select Java main class. Select Next, and we get to name it. Let's call it Hello World. And as before, this tells us where it is creating it. So it's Hello World. It adds the Java for us on the file. We select Finish, and then it comes up like this. Notice that by default, it already gives us a very generic initial comment, some Javadoc right here with an author already entered. The author by default is going to be your username. We can just leave that the way it is. Down here, so let's just take a look at the structure of this. The very first line in every Java class is the name of the package. The name of the package here is CS2173. That's the name that we gave it. The requirement in Java is that the package name and the package structure exactly matches the directory structure. So notice that in package CS2173, we're in a folder called CS2173, and the case matches. The class that we're defining is defined by public class Hello World, and then an open curly brace with a closed curly brace. That defines the scope of the class, and the name of the class matches the name of the file. So we notice that. That's another requirement. It is possible to put other named classes in of a different name in that. Toward later in the course, we'll show how to do that. In the meantime, just your default should be that every file only contains one class, and that class has the same name as the file. Now the main is where things start. So there's this boilerplate public static void main, and then the argument is an array of strings, and the curly braces define the scope of that main method. So in any Java program, a method of this form is what is invoked first. So we see the to-do here, code, application, logic here. So that's what we'll do. I double-clicked and deleted that, and let's replace it with just a print to the console. Now, printing in Java, or these printing to the console, involves a bit more typing than you may be used to from other languages, like a scripting language where you might just say print. Here, they have this long system out print line, and then you give it a string that says what you want to print. That's just the way Java does it, and so get over it. Anyway, so we see that this is actually a complete Java program. What we can do is we can start running it. Now, in Java projects, there are a number of different ways of running things. One is by using this little green play button, and if we hover on it, we see it says run project. What will happen when we click it? It says, well, I don't know. I mean, in a way, it's kind of, there's only one possibility, but it says, well, we haven't set it, so we got to tell it what it is. So we get to select the main class. Later, when we have more than one main class, we'll be able to select a different one. So let's just say OK on that. And what it does, okay, now notice down here is the console, and that's our run, and it says hello world. So what we've done is we have printed to the console, we have written our first Java program. So that's the first part of the workflow, which is we write some code and we get it to the point where we're happy with it. Before we leave the session, we commit it. And now over here, notice if you don't have this window, that says Subversion CS2173 code, right-click on your project, select Subversion, Show Changes. And that, well, guess what that does? It shows the changes. Let's see what changes we have. We see a new, okay, so see that these are in blue. CS2173 and project properties are in blue. That means it's been modified. Now it's created some test libraries. We'll just sort of keep those and not worry about them. I don't know how that came in. But we see that this CS2173 in lowercase has been created together with our hello world. So when we commit, that says that these three are new and these two have been modified. Now the project properties file is something that NetBeans keeps. We can see what the differences are in this. We can right-click and select diff. And what we see, we can see exactly what the differences are. Before, it said main class was empty. It didn't have one. The change that we made is that the hello world is now the main class, and that's the only change that is listed there. So before we commit, we can check and see exactly what has changed. That's one of the nice things about using a version control system. So we are now reasonably happy with our program. Again, we've done some work. We've written some code. We verified that it has done what we wanted it to, and now we're ready to commit. So we can select the Commit All button. That's one way to do it. Another way is to simply go over to the project, right-click, go Subversion, Commit. And that brings up exactly the same window. You see, we get one last chance. We can select some or all of the various things that have been suggested, and it encourages us to write a commit message. So basically, what have we done? We have wrote hello world, and we commit that. And it grinds and it whirs, And then we now see that there are no local or remote changes. We have created some content, we have done some editing, we've done some work, and we have committed it to Subversion.